Okay guys, going to give you some pictures to try and explain what Johnny Boy was talking about. Here's your handbrake cables running through the floor and out to the back axle. Here's the single cable that then runs up through to the handbrake lever. It runs underneath, comes all the way through, and there's the head of the cable there. So when you pull the handbrake lever, it pulls the cable, pulling the cables underneath the floor. Now the problem is, the way the JK works, this section here is not directly connected to the handbrake lever. Why make something simple? It's a Jeep. To operate this drum, or this section here, this spring around the outside of the drum connects to a lever, or at the other end of it's a lever down here on the handbrake cable. So as you pull the handbrake, it tightens that spring, which then tightens on this drum and then rotates this assembly around. Now, the reason they've done that is to keep a constant pressure on this cable so that the cables don't run slack, so you don't lose movement in your handbrake lever. To keep that tension, they've got a clock spring here, which winds all the way around, and you can see it attaches on here. Now the idea of this is it's trying to unwind or rotate this around, which you can see there pulled that cable. So this spring is keeping tension on these cables, keeps that in a nice locked position. If I hold that there like that, you'll now notice my handbrake only comes up a little bit, about 3 notches. If I pull this out, in other words, not enough tension on the spring, when I lift my handbrake, lever comes all the way up to the top. Handbrake works, but just no leverage whatsoever. So what Johnny Boy was saying was to unclip this, pull it around another turn, whack it back on. Now I'm not going to try that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some larger springs, or large normal springs, and just attach to one of the bolts here, back to here, just to keep a little tension on there. Now you notice I just pulled that and it stayed there, and you'll notice how much this moves at the same time. So that's all I need to do, is a light spring to give it a little bit extra tension on there. Then I get a handbrake that does that and works, instead of a handbrake that does that and doesn't work because it's actually hit the end stop and will not. You can see here it's actually hit the end stop and will not go any higher, yet it's not fully engaged. So I hope that makes some sense. I might do a couple of pictures after I put some springs on here just to show you what I mean. Thanks guys.